What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you the Tesla Model S. And I got this car as a loaner because, as you remember from my issue 1 video, that my glass cracked on the Model Y, so they gave me a Model S as a rental. I'm not paying for this, it's just a loaner, but I'm going to do a quick review if any of you are interested in an older Model S, because the price is significantly lower now. Instead of it being more than 100,000, if you get a 2014 one, it's more like 40,000. So starting on the inside, you can see we have an instrument panel here and a screen here, whereas in the Model 3 and Y, it's only a horizontal screen that way. One key thing to note is if you want to put it on autopilot in the Model 3 or the Model Y, you double tap this, you push it down twice and it'll go autopilot. But in this case here, you have this cruise stock thing here that you have to use to put it on autopilot and stuff like that, and keep your distance between the cars. You can set it through here as well. Yeah, so one difference is the screen. So let's talk about the screen first here. This is 2016 or 2017 and before Model S, because there's no side cameras on the two sides, which I'll show you in a minute. But first, let's talk about the screen here. In my Model Y, it's horizontal, this is vertical. So the disadvantage of a vertical screen is when you go into entertainment, for example, and here's a bunch of games, it's really weird playing it in this orientation. So you can imagine like Netflix and things like that. It'll kind of cut off your screen. You might be only seeing like this much of the screen, and the rest, like top and bottom, will be like a black area or something. I don't know, for some reason my loaner does not come with Netflix and doesn't have a proper center console here because it's a loaner. So maybe this was some kind of a beta car or something happened, and now they've just put this as a loaner at the Tesla center. So that's one thing to note. So you will not have like a good view in terms of like doing things, because the horizontal orientation is what we all are used to, because all our TVs, monitors, everything is horizontal, and this is vertical. So this is sort of weird in my opinion. But one thing that the Model S has over my Model Y is the air suspension. So if you go into suspension here, you'll see like you can set it to different things. You could set it to low, high, very high, standard. So you can, like, suspension can move up or down. And the ride quality is better than the Model Y in terms of like going over bumps and stuff. You feel it a lot less in this car. The one thing that you lose out with the air suspension is it's not as sporty in my opinion. Like, it'll be more like floaty kind of feeling. Like if you have a Lexus or Mercedes, a GLK Mercedes, or an SUV class of a Mercedes, or a Lexus SUV or something like that, you know what I'm talking about. It's very like smooth and floaty. It's not as sporty. If you're into more sporty kind of a drive, that's more Model 3, Model Y kind of a thing. Also, one thing I don't like about this car is the seats. Like, they're kind of hard. I don't know why. I don't like these at all. I feel like my own Acura and my own like Honda have better seats than this Model S. Even though this Model S costs a lot when it was new, the seats are just bad. Model Y and Model 3 do have better seats. That's my opinion. But you should go and check it out. Like, take it for a test drive. Take Model S, Model X, or whichever car you're looking into, take them for a test drive, because the seats are definitely different. The ride quality is definitely different. So guys, one other thing that's different is the roof. So if you look here, it's a sort of a panoramic roof with this bar here. So there's a glass roof here and back there. Kind of like the Model 3, but this has a thicker bar. Model 3 has a thinner bar. So, I mean, if you're looking for more glass on your roof, you should probably go with the Model 3 versus the Model S if you're comparing those two. I've put navigation on, and of course I haven't charged it, so that's why. But here you see, like, I'm traveling to somewhere random, and one thing I wanted to show you is this panel here. So this is very, very good. Like, my Model Y does not have this. I wish it did, like kind of a pop-up thing where it would show you like a mini map version. But this is very, very cool, because I feel like I just look down and I can see, like, do I have to make a left, do I have to make a right? Everything is right here, which I really like, versus on the Model Y where you have to constantly keep looking there basically to know like if you're supposed to make a left or a right if you're going to like a new area, right? In terms of leg room, I think there's plenty leg room here. This is bigger than the Model 3, so legroom is not a problem. Getting in and out is quite easy as well, so that's not an issue. So here you can see the indicators here. So this is a bulb here. There's no camera here, like you can tell, so it's the same on the other side as well. This is because it's an older Model S. So coming around to the back side, the trunk is pretty good, decent space. This covering is pretty good too. You could, I'm pretty sure, remove this and then have access from the back rows to this, which is exactly like the Model Y, kind of a hatchbacky kind of trunk, which I like. Model 3 will not have this because it's a proper sedan, a proper closed trunk, so you can't reach in from the back row to your trunk. So that's one thing to note. You close this is very similar. Press a button and then it closes. So coming around to the front, you can see there's a lot of space here. I think it might be more than a Model 3 just by looking at it. Not sure, we'll have to look at the cubic feet numbers, but it's very close to the size of a Model 3's front space. Another way that you can tell this is the older Model S is by this black piece here, that black oval there. The newer ones don't have this black oval face kind of a thing. So coming back to the inside now, one other thing that I wanted to point out that I forgot to point out earlier when I was inside was when you're rolling down a street, and then for example in my Model Y, like if I let go of the accelerator, I got used to driving it with one pedal. In this car, if you do that, you can get it to get to zero by one pedal, but the regen is not as strong, and when you get to a stop, it will not hold the brake for you automatically. You have to at least tap the brake once for it to realize that you're asking it to hold. One other thing I would like to point out is the range. So the range on this car right now is 19 kilometers because I haven't charged it, but I drove this to work and back, and I drive over 100 kilometers to work and back. It was completely fine. I got back with about 25% battery remaining, which is not bad, and I think the full charge on this, since it's an older model, is about 400 kilometers. So that's not bad for a car like this, which is about, I'm gonna guess it's 2014 at least. So it's about 6 years old now, and it's pretty good. Like, the battery life's pretty good. So if you are considering a Model S, an older one in particular, it may not be a bad idea, specifically if you really want only a Model S and you don't want a Model 3. You can get an older Model S, relatively close enough pricing to the newer Model 3s. But in my opinion, Model 3 is a better car in just terms of the screen, just terms of tech also, regen, everything. Because they've learned a lot from Model S and Model X, Tesla as a company, because their S and X were their first cars, and 3 and Y were their later cars. So of course you'll see improvements in the 3 and the Y. So guys, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified on my newest videos. I almost post every weekend, at least I try to. So if you want to stay up to date with my videos, please like and subscribe. Thank you.